Today, we're going to talk about one of the most toxic substances known to man. Botulinum toxin. A few nanograms, so 1/1000th of a gram, is enough to kill you. Why is that? Let's find out on why you die. Botulinum toxin is a neurotoxin, so it works on the nerve cells. So let's start there. In the video about tetrodotoxin, we talked about the different neurons and how they communicate. Today, we're looking at a very special type of neuron, the motor neuron. So the neurons that send signals from your brain to your body and instruct your muscles to move. So here you have the action potential arriving at the end of the neuron. So now the neuron has to tell the muscle to contract. How does it do that? So between the end of the neuron and the muscle, we have the neuromuscular junction. So this is just a junction between neuron and muscle. These words are actually quite easy, huh? The neuron releases a signaling molecule called acetylcholine, or ACH, in the neuromuscular junction. The muscle receives the signaling molecule and then knows it has to contract. So now let's look a little bit deeper in how the neuron releases the signaling molecule. So the neuron has already prepared vesicles or packages with acetylcholine. Once the action potential reaches the end of the neuron, these vesicles go to the membrane of the neuron, so the boundary, and then melts into it and releases the acetylcholine. So to release these packages, they have to be pulled towards the membrane of the neuron. This is done with snare proteins. So the snare proteins are both on the vesicle and on the membrane of the neuron. So these snare proteins interlock and then pull the vesicle towards the membrane. There, the vesicle fuses with the membrane and releases the acetylcholine. So now back to botulinum toxin. Botulinum toxin cuts the snare proteins, and because of this, the neuron can't release the acetylcholine to the muscles. So your muscles don't receive the signal to contract. Because of this, you get paralyzed. This is also called flaccid paralysis because your muscles don't contract, so you go all limp and you're unable to move. And similarly to tetrodotoxin, when your muscles don't move anymore, and mainly when your diaphragm doesn't move anymore, remember the muscle to breathe? You stop breathing and you die. And this is why you die. There's actually 7 versions of botulinum toxin called A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I know, very original with the naming. And depending on which version of botulinum toxin you have, it cuts a different snare protein. But in the end, the result is the same. No more acetylcholine release, no muscle contraction, and you die. If you don't want to miss out, like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video of Why You Die. Ciao! So, back for part 2. You recognize the name from somewhere? Botulinum toxin? Botox? Right. So, because it causes paralysis, it is also used to inject in certain muscles to stop them from moving. You know, like these. So this is why Botox is actually like a very used toxin in the medical industry, because it stops your muscles from moving. You keep your face flat and wrinkle-free. See you next time. Ciao.